11th, 2026, as we get you going on this kind of cloudy day. About a 20% chance of showers, 82 the daytime high, and then look out tonight. And this is when we're going to start to get some heavy, heavy rain. That window now somewhere between about 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. for the Birmingham metro area. And we could see a possible spin-up tornado, an inch and a half of rain. Yes, hail is a possibility. These are all things that we're going to have to watch out for tonight. So just know that you get a good source, whether it's your handheld device with an app on it to alert you, or maybe you got a weather radio. But tonight will be one of those nights. The entire state of Alabama, a risk of either a 1 or a 2 when we talk about severe weather is a possibility. And again, most of this is going to be happening when a lot of us are sound asleep. And by tomorrow morning, it will move out of here. We still may have some clouds around for part of Thursday, high of 59. So it's going to cool down a bit with the front that's coming through. Friday, sunny, high of 70, and then looks really nice for the weekend, about 78 both Saturday and Sunday.
I think it's safe to say that if the storm is severe enough, I will definitely be going number 1 or number 2 in my bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just hang out in the bathroom.
That might be a good idea. It's a centrally located room
Go ahead and,
in my house.
Get really prepared there, Richard.
I like that centrally located room in the house. I will be there.
I will tell you this. I'm in a new house last year that I moved into, and I haven't had a basement in a long time. And there is some comfort in knowing that you're not on a slab and that you have a basement to go to. I'm like, yes, I have somewhere to go now.
I don't know what that's like.
I mean, the slab, they tell you to go on into the most interior area of your home. And I'm like, there's not a lot of that on that slab I was on. I was just like, I hope nothing ever comes through because it's going to be over for me.
Yeah. My favorite is the whole trailer park concept where they go outside and lie down in the ditch.
Yeah. That one's a really.
So you're telling me that a ditch is safer than where I live? Okay, I feel good about that.
And some of that is because you haven't
seen my land.
The wind comes up
by a tree.
The wind comes up underneath that thing, and it lifts it up like an umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, you're living in an umbrella.
That's right.
And if you've ever seen an umbrella in a storm, if it's not, it just lifts it up, and takes it away.
On the upside, you could end up in Oz.
You could. Well,
that could be possible.
Do you want to go to Oz?
Get yourself some ruby slippers.
There's some scary. No, you got to deal with a witch.
Need a scarecrow
and the monkeys. No, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah, but you killed one by landing the house on it. So
you know what? You just convinced me. I'm really glad I have a basement.
All right, you go to the basement. I'm going to Oz. Work Trucks is downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South, where they are all about trucks. Over 100 vehicles on the lot at any given time. All you have to do is go to worktruckswithanxllc.com to find out more. You can take a look at the entire lineup there. You can find out how they prep these vehicles and get them ready for you, 125-point inspection, all that good stuff. They have been taking care of customers like you for almost 30 years in the same location. Worktruckswithanxllc.com, downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South, the Southeast #1 pre-owned work truck dealer, where they are all about trucks.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, Governor Kay Ivey has commuted the death of a man that's on death row, and this is all happening just before he was to be executed tomorrow. 75-year-old Sonny Burton was scheduled to tomorrow be executed by nitrogen hypoxia. This was for the murder of Doug Battle. Battle was killed during a robbery in 1991. This was in Talladega at an AutoZone. Burton did not pull the trigger that took Battle's life, but he was part of the robbery. Actually, the person that pulled the trigger was sentenced to life in prison and ended up dying in prison. Attorney General Steve Marshall strongly disagrees with the governor's decision not to go through with his execution, but I guess Governor Kay Ivey has to live with that decision. I'm sure she was getting a lot of pressure to maybe think twice about this. But Burton, I guess, will remain in jail for the rest of his life. And again, he's 75 years old, and she is saying that they are not going to go through with this execution.
Okay.
So,
here's the problem with this. We have spent god-awful sums of money trying to execute this guy, going back to court again and again because, as soon as you get the death penalty, then suddenly some things are automatically triggered. And then there are judges who are, kind of bound to be a little bit more lenient in terms of hearing various and sundry appeals. And so, you as prosecutors and as our Department of Justice in the state of Alabama continue to return to the courtroom and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in an effort. Now, if you just said life without the possibility of parole when you put them in jail, there wouldn't be all these appeals. There might be one or two, but you wouldn't have the dozen or so that you get when you have the death penalty. So we've spent all this money, and then KIV goes, you know what, never mind. Let's just set fire to that pile of money that we spent all this time trying to get here. There is a case to be made for why even have the death penalty under those circumstances. But, part of it is that it took 30-plus years to get here, which is tedious.
Very.
And by that time, memories begin to fade, and you get the, you wasn't even holding a gun. But he planned the whole thing.
Yeah, he organized the entire armed robbery, held a gun to the store manager's head.
Yeah.
And then once they robbed Douglas Battle at this AutoZone, he was the one going, here's your money, everybody.
Right. Yeah.
And he was very much involved. Yes, his finger didn't pull the trigger, but he's as guilty as anybody else. He's as guilty as the guy that did pull the trigger.
Here's how weird the law is, and it's not weird in a bad way. To me, it's weird in a good way. If you were involved in the crime where somebody died, you're guilty of murder, okay? I love that. You have to be able to prove that, but you're certainly going to be charged with murder. And that somebody doesn't necessarily have to be the person you were robbing. It could be a member of your own crew.
Yeah.
And you're still up on murder charges. This is why I'm frustrated. Remember that case in Hoover several years ago where a guy got shot in the back while some kids were going through his car?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Gelati.
Right. And
Mike Gelati, that's
Gelati.
who it was.
He ended up getting killed.
God, that one bothered me so much.
Every one of these kids has had different lawyers, and they all blamed each other.
Yep.
And consequently, nobody ended up paying for
That's
that crime.
right.
And I looked at that, and I go, no, every one of them was guilty.
Yep.
They were all there, and that's the way the thing should have been prosecuted, was every one of them was there, and every one of them was guilty of murder.
Yes, because Mike died, and he was leaving the house to go to the gym that morning, and they were trying to steal his car.
Yep.
And he was like, he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
If he had slept in another 15 minutes, he'd
Might have missed
be alive
it.
today.
His car might be gone, but
Yeah.
he'd be alive.
Exactly.
But he walked out. And you're right. All three of them should have been found
Every one of
guilty
them.
of his murder.
Every one of them was guilty
I
of
mean,
murder.
this is a former military guy.
Yeah,
And you're like senseless. Left.
absolutely senseless.
I hate that story. This also going on. The FBI has found some explosive materials in a storage unit. This is this is in Pennsylvania. After the two men charged with making and bringing homemade bombs to a protest that took place in New York. The 18 and 19-year-olds are from Philadelphia. They were inspired by the Islamic State group. They admitted that. One of the teens, 18, 19, hurled a device that was smoking with a lit fuse. A second device was dropped near some police officers. Those officers were able to arrest the individual that dropped that one. But good work on behalf of the New York Police Department and some of these investigators that have now found materials in the storage unit, tying them all to it. So keep going.
What was the
keep investigating it?
What was the motive again? I forgot. I don't know.
I think they yelled a little something that we all could go, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Kind of like the T-shirt that guy was wearing.
Yep.
Property of
Allah.
Yeah, a little of that going on.
Boy, they are doing their level best. And by the way, Zoran Mamdani, the mayor of New York City, whose house Gracie Mansion is right now, did not ever even condemn Islamic fundamentalist terrorism, and actually had Mahmoud Khalil, the guy that the Trump administration is deporting for being pro-Hamas, had him over for dinner the other night and took pictures and posted them on social media.
You did it, New York. You voted for this guy.
I'm wondering how many Jews in New York City are looking at that and going, what the hell did I do? What have I done here? Morons.
You end up, you got to live with what you voted for.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't want him, you should have worked a little harder to get more people to the polls.
Yeah.
To figure that one out.
Well, the other choices weren't that crazy.
Yeah, they weren't all the way around, but I think he was the worst of all the evils.
I would agree.
All right, the Pentagon put out a statement, said that 140 U.S. service members have been wounded in Operation Epic Fury. We know that we've lost 7 soldiers. Those have all been been brought back to the U.S. The vast majority of those injuries, they said they were minor. About 108 of the service members have already returned to duty. So that pales in comparison to the number of people that have died in Iran in Operation Epic Fury. I think this number is low, a little over 1,200. I think when all is said and done, it will be much higher than that. So 397 in Lebanon, 12 in Israel. And again, they said 140, but most of those are just minor injuries for the U.S.
We're trying very hard not to hit civilian areas in Iran because we want the Iranian people on our side, and most of them are. So that certainly accounts for one of the. On the other hand, Iran, of course, is targeting civilian areas in Israel and anywhere and everywhere else that they're throwing these bombs. So it is a bit of an unfair fight, but then again, we're used to that, aren't we?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a fair fight when it comes to war.
8:16 with Dixon and Vining. How about a brand new garage door, something to change the look and feel of your home, something that could be insulated to keep maybe the cool in during the summer months or the heat in during the winter months so you can work in the garage and not, freeze or burn your butt off. These are things that ProLift Garage Doors specializes in. ProLift Garage Doors at 286-9727. They have a wide variety of doors by a wide variety of manufacturers. They can find the one that's just right for you. You can find the one that's right for you. ProLiftDoors.com. Your old garage door dented up, dinged up, creaks and squeaks and screams like nobody's business as it goes up and comes back down again. Got some broken glass there, maybe some rotten wood, locks that don't work. What are you doing? Get yourself a ProLift garage door, a new door to change the look and feel of your home, and be amazed at how whisper quiet they can be. ProLift Garage Doors, 286-9727. Online at ProLiftDoors.com. Check them out. 12 months, same as cash. A reasonable price, installation, everything included. You're going to love your experience with ProLift Garage Doors. Oh, my. Percy Sledge recorded that at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals. Muscle Shoals about to be known for something completely different. We'll tell you what that is in just a moment. Percy rewrote the lyrics to his own song on the spot and didn't even write them down, actually. He just went out. He came back in. He said, all right, boys, I've changed the lyrics a little bit, and I'm just going to do them from memory. And that is what and they were like, you got to be kidding me. One take, boom, done. Percy Sledge.
Those were the days.
What a master.
Mm-hmm.
822 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com.
You know, one of the greatest things you have around your home to make sure and ensure that water and rain don't get in around your foundation, and that's, of course, gutters. You got to have gutters that are working well, working right, and are doing the job to make sure that the water gets pushed away from your home. And that's what the downspouts and everything around your home has with those gutters. If you don't have great gutters, reach out to Daniel at Noble Contractors today at 422-3034. Let him know that you're a Talk 99.5 listener. Get a 10% discount on those seamless 6-inch gutters with the gutter covers. Yes, they come with the covers. And then check out the prices, y'all. You're going to be blown away at how much less Daniel can do it than some of these other big national companies. So get a free estimate from wherever you want to, then reach out to Daniel, and you'll be shocked at how much less he can do it. And they're great-looking gutters. And, of course, the gutter covers. Downspouts, if you need any repair, too, think about that. If there is maybe around the fascia or soffit, if you've got some rotten wood there, maybe that's why the gutter you currently have is hanging off the side of the house because the wood is rotten. He can fix that. Yeah, he does repairs. So if you need somebody to repair, just give him a call today and tell him what it is that you need. Again, the number is 205-422-3034. Now he has financing available as low as 0% for 21 months. Take advantage of it. You'll love Daniel, a veteran of the military, and does a great job. His crew of guys know exactly what they're doing and get this done quickly for you. When you need gutters, Noble Contractors, ALA.com, 422-3034.
Well, I just mentioned that Muscle Shoals, of course, known for Fame Studios and Muscle Shoals Recording Studios. Some of the greatest music in the world has been created there. The Rolling Stones have recorded there. Aretha Franklin recorded there. You have got a litany. Some members of the Beatles have recorded there. There many of the greatest songs, certainly of the Motown era and of the Stax era, Stax Volt, recorded in Muscle Shoals as well. But now, a new 2.2 million square foot defense industrial facility is going to be built in Muscle Shoals. That, according to U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville.
Wow.
Revealed the development on Monday while speaking at the Huntsville-Madison County Chamber of Commerce. Tuberville said the plant, which will be responsible for manufacturing integral parts for U.S. submarines, is projected to create between 750 and 1,500 jobs.
Man, that's a lot.
He said
Wow.
we secured the money for the facility in the One Big Beautiful bill passed last year. This is President Trump's dream of moving submarine and ship manufacturing back to the United States of America. We're going to reopen that 2.2 million square foot attraction. It's the Burton rail car plant. The structure will transform it into a state-of-the-art AI-driven precision manufacturing facility. It's going to be one of a kind. Just another instance where this administration looks at Alabama and says, we can do something with these people.
Yeah.
First off, we're very worker-friendly. We're very development-friendly. That is to say, other states may be a little kind of standoffish when it comes to this, and Alabama's like, bring it on, man. The more the better.
Really cool that, we're talking about the Coast Guard going to Birmingham Southern. They're going to take over. And here we go. And again, everybody's like, well, where's the water? It's the Coast Guard. Ha, ha, ha. There's no water other than some lakes around central Alabama. And the same thing here. They're going to, they're parts for submarines. You're like, well, when you want to, no, you can accomplish that right there in Huntsville, I guess, where this, facility is going to be going. But how exciting for this state of Alabama.
We're not building
more and more.
We're not building the whole submarine there,
just,
you understand.
Yeah, the part, the some
Can you
of
imagine having to put a whole submarine on
They get it
trucks
to-
and drive it down to the Gulf? Sorry, we should have put the plant closer.
Yeah, you thought those double wide homes that go down the interstate
Right.
with are bad.
Right.
They'd be like, we need to block off the entire interstate, no cars.
Submarine wide load coming through. Following the event, Hubbard will explain to reporters what drew the Department of Defense's attention to Muscle Shoals over more traditional locations. He said they're going to work very closely with Austral, which makes ships and submarines down in Mobile. The reason we make them here and in Muscle Shoals, you put whatever you make on a barge and you ship it down the river, and that's the reason. It was a very, very intriguing to the Defense Department. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
you can't have everything right there on the coast, so
Yeah.
here we have the opportunity to get this thing to, and that river is amazing. I think 1,500 jobs in the Muscle Shoals area is going to be a boon to the state, of course.
That is big.
And again, just being so friendly to industry in this state rather than being standoffish. Think about for a second when Amazon wanted to put a plant or a location in, what was it, Brooklyn? And AOC was like, this isn't good. Nobody wants this, and it's terrible. And they were like, you know what? Never mind.
We're going to go someplace where we're wanted.
We're over here
You know?
going, hey, look
Over
look
here.
over here. Look over here. Hey, look over here. We are so ready to put stuff in. We got lots of spaces. The whole Black Belt could use, more industry and more jobs of any kind. Alabama's ready for development when it comes to these things, and there's no reason in the world not to take part in that. We kind of look at Huntsville and go, the whole state could be Huntsville if we wanted it to be. Maybe we need to start moving in that direction. Well, Muscle Shoals took a step here.
That's great. I
pretty
think
good.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Another feather in Tommy Tuberville's cap, too.
Indeed.
Yep.
He's about to become governor of the state, barring unforeseen circumstances.
And I would imagine he's probably going to help to facilitate more and more of this.
One would
you know?
think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that he, as a governor, would be as welcoming of these things as he has been in terms of driving them for a U.S. senator. But some of the stuff that is flying under the radar, we kind of forgot. A good portion of the FBI has been moved to Huntsville as well. That at the behest of Kash Patel, who said, we got to decentralize this organization. Having all these people staying here in Washington, D.C., their minds get polluted by hive mind, and we got to, start spreading them out. So we're going to put some in Kansas, and we're going to put some in Huntsville, and we're going to put some in Wyoming. Wyoming, there's nothing going on in Wyoming. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing going on in
You just
Wyoming.
need to get out of D.C.
Yeah, anything that will get
Yeah.
you. In this day and age, when you can Zoom from almost anywhere, or what's the one we use here? It's a Microsoft Teams. You can use Teams from anywhere. The idea that everybody has to be in the same city, it's almost counterintuitive if you think about it. The last thing you want is everybody in the same city should something terrible happen in that city. You'd like to maybe have some of the people doled out into other areas, distributed around the country.
Well, I'm just glad that, again, it's been talked about, but President Trump, once again, acts on what he talks about. This is one president where he says he's going to do something. Get ready because he's going to do it. And I'm glad to see that it was discussed and now we're seeing action on it.
The state of Alabama, probably not in small part because we were the third largest in terms of the overwhelming support for Donald Trump. We have benefited so much from the Trump administration just in the year and change that he's been in there. We have got a new aircraft facility or an old aircraft facility with new contracts down in the Mobile area. Yes, we've got, we're building submarines down there. We're building submarines now or parts for submarines in Muscle Shoals. We have got Space Command that has moved or is in the process of moving into Huntsville. Coast Guard is going to be over here. Alabama loves Donald Trump now, I'll tell you what. 8:35, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk 99.5.com. Beautiful day with rain coming later on, and quite a bit of it from what I understand. We're looking at 82 for a high today. The storm's kicking in real briefly around 7, and then again maybe an hour later is when the stuff really begins to hit the fan, and we're talking about right up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe even later. And they're supposed to be quite the gully washers, quite the washouts, the frog stranglers, as it were. Have you got any more folksy terms that you can use for that?
I think you kind of covered it.
That's it?
Yeah, right now it's back in Arkansas and Louisiana, just about to come into Mississippi. Now, it's moving from the southwest to northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's going to take just a little time to get here tonight. But when it does, looking right now, there's a lot of lightning with it. And they said some areas of Alabama, 1 out of 5, some other areas, 2 out of 5. So this is night, make sure you're paying attention and get everything charged up before you go to bed, because overnight you're going to hear some pounding and some lightning and some stuff that's kind of frightening a little bit.
And if you need, getting Alabama Tree Pros on the line ahead of time might be the way to go. AlabamaTreePros.com is their website, of course, to find out more about it. 308-4158 on the telephone if you'd like to get in touch with Alabama Tree Pros and talk to them about maybe coming by, taking a look at the trees that you have on the property and seeing that maybe, just maybe, they're not going to withstand one of these strong storms. At some point, they're going to go over, and boy, you don't want that. Because you don't know where they're going to fall. Do they fall on the power lines? Do they fall on your car, your garage, your neighbor's house? All of this is terrible. Just going across the road that you use to get out of the driveway is bad enough. Alabama Tree Pros can come by. They can give you the kind of concept of what it is you're looking at, rip down some of the higher limbs, the ones that might be causing problems, or take the whole thing down, or grind the stump up. Everything you want, nothing you don't. If you already have a tree that's down, they can go ahead and cut that one up for you and haul it away. They do it all at Alabama Tree Pros. They do it with aplomb, sometimes with 2 plombs. And if you are nice and are really, really, really polite to them, they are going to have the lowest price that you've ever seen. All right, you don't even have to be that nice. They're going to have a low price anyway, because that's who they are. Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158, or online at alabamatreepros.com. Make that appointment today. Americans are fed up with tipping culture. 9 out of 10, almost 9 out of 10 say it's completely out of control, and they back banning automatic service charges amid the tipping fatigue.
Tipping fatigue. We say that the next time they want a tip and there's really no service involved.
Yeah.
I have tipping fatigue.
I'm sorry,
Sorry, my finger doesn't work on that little screen.
Tipping fatigue.
You turned around to me.
Yeah.
I have tipping fatigue.
There was one case in the recent past. Gosh, when was it? I want to say it was probably this past weekend, when literally they did nothing. They did nothing. And it's the one time that I just went, no, you don't get a tip for that. You get 0 tips. I'm usually very friendly with the tips. I'm usually open with the tips. But when they flip the screen around and they go, your choices are 22%, 25%, or 28%, you go, you literally didn't do anything at all. No. 0 tip for you.
I have some tipping fatigue.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind tipping and tip well if there's a service involved. But you slapping a burger on a bun and wrapping it up and throwing it in a bag and giving it to me doesn't quite qualify for a tip.
I would even tip for that.
And you know where I think it started? COVID.
Yeah.
Because we all were feeling sorry for the food industry and those that were delivering food, and we were trying to be like, let me help you out a little bit, and we'll tip you. We don't normally do this. I think it never went away.
I think you're right. And they began demanding tips for less and less and less effort, and it became absolutely crazy. But this service charge thing is what confuses me, because I thought a service charge is something that you would put on instead of a tip. Like you would put a service fee on and say, there, we're not going to tip, or we're not going to have tipping here. Certainly there are those places they could say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay our people a living wage, and then we're going to say no tipping. And there are some places that do that, and they're well attended, and I think largely well thought of. But when you talk to a really good waiter or waitress and you say, would you prefer that? And they go, hell no. On a good night,
At
if
a
I'm
really good
working- If
restaurant,
I'm working
yeah.
at a kind of a higher end restaurant, a place where you can count on the bill for a couple of people is going to be $200. You know, between the drinks and the food, the wine or whatever, it's going to be about $200. It's safe to say I'm going to get $40 out of that table. If I can do 4 of those tables in an hour, that's $160 an hour. And if I'm on a 5-hour shift, I'm not going to get it every single hour, obviously.
But you're
But
making
I'm
pretty
gonna
darn
make
good
some
money.
serious bank,
Yeah.
as opposed to if you start paying me, let's give him a living wage. Well, what's a living wage as far as you're concerned? Because to me, I want to make that $160 an hour for all the hours I can on a Friday night, right? So there are a lot of waiters and waitresses that are like, nope, never going to do it, not interested, thanks anyway. But when I see, for instance, you break down a pizza delivery place, you order online, and it has delivery fee on there, and then they're also like, and would you like to leave a tip? I'm like, well, what's the delivery fee for?
Mm-hmm.
Who's getting that?
Right. You would think the person bringing you the pizza
Apparently
to
not.
help pay for gas and
Yeah.
the service to bring it to you. And
Well, I will say, the new Domino's, they're using these electric cars that have Domino's wraps on them, so I'm assuming that they're company cars, right? That's the last time I ordered from Domino's. It came in an electric car, and I asked the young lady, I said, do you like that thing? She said, it's great. I wish I could take it home with me. I love this car. It's my favorite car ever. I'm like, oh, yeah, you probably drive a POS. I forgot. Driving a 98 a Toyota POS.
Oh.
Here's your tip. Buy a better car.
Yeah.
Oh.
No wonder you love that car. But look, sit-down restaurants is fine. Bars, hair salons. I'll tip not just, like food delivery people, but like furniture delivery people, things of that nature. But when, like you say, you step up to the counter, and in this case, a guy literally poured me 2 beverages and put them in front of me. It took 0 effort on his part, and he flipped the screen around, and I was like, you get nothing for that. You don't get any tip for that.
There's another restaurant that I go to. I don't want to name or anything because I love going there.
Publix.
But no. But when you order, you have to walk up to the counter and order, and then they give you a cup to go over to the machine and get your tea or your Coke or whatever it is that you want. The only service that they provide is they bring the plate of food to your table and drop it off.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, I could go, I wouldn't mind going back up to the counter to get it.
Now, what about the at the end of it? Do you leave the plate there, or do they come get it,
No,
or do you bring it back?
you leave
or?
the plate there, and
Okay.
they'll come
So
pick it up.
somebody has to come get it,
Yes.
obviously.
So
Somebody
you know,
had to cook the food.
right.
Somebody has to
Well,
wash those dishes.
mhm.
You don't want to tip those people? Do you?
Well,
Why do you hate
I'm
service
saying
people,
in,
Valerie?
I'm saying in that case, would you stop? In that case, I would tip. I will tip that.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing involved other than you're behind the counter cooking food and putting whatever it is together and then handing it off to me and the rest is left up to me, no. I don't. Again, a tip is for a service, and that's whenever we've tipped before. You're coming to the table, you're taking my order, you're coming back with some waters, you're coming back with some bread, you're coming back in a minute with a salad, and then you're coming back with an entree. Oh, you want some dessert? Oh, that's service. To me, just dropping off a plate, there's that.
Yeah, I'm still going to tip for go orders. I know people find that to be weird, but somebody had to create that food. They had to put it on they had to put the paper in the styrofoam box. They had to put the food in the styrofoam box. They had to put the sauce in a little cup and put that in the styrofoam box.
You know what I say to the owner?
Yeah.
Pay your people better.
Well,
Because they don't, to me,
then you're
no,
going to pay more for that takeout order.
Well, I'll pay more. But
Okay.
I hate this. Again, the expectation now is you're going to tip even though there's no service provided other than you're cooking food. We didn't do that before.
Yeah.
We didn't do that before COVID.
Well, you would tip the waiter, and the waiter would frequently end up splitting tips with the dishwashing staff and the cooking staff and so on and so forth. Without there being a waiter, they can't split the tip because you're not tipping a waiter. So I always think about those people back there that they were getting a portion of the waiter's tips, and I'm like, okay, well, now I have to tip them because there's no waiter. So I'm always going to be a little more lenient on that side. Plus, I've got it. That's the thing, is that I'm phenomenally wealthy. People don't know this about me, but I've got more money than I know what to do
First
with.
Class.
And
Again,
I just throw it around.
It's called a tip because the tip is for service.
Yeah.
It's not for doing your job behind in the kitchen and cooking the food
Okay.
and taking my order behind the counter.
All right.
I mean, do we do that at Wendy's? Do you leave a tip at Wendy's?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
So the
What do you
really,
tell them?
yeah. Well, how much you leaving there, Richard? See, this is what I mean.
What I'm hearing, and this is for everyone, if you're serving Valerie Vining
No,
at restaurants,
this is wrong.
what I'm hearing
What you're
her
about to
say
say is
is,
going to be incorrect.
please spit in my food. That's what I heard her say.
I'm trying to make a point here, and my point is you don't tip at Wendy's. You don't tip at Burger King.
No.
You don't tip at any of these fast food restaurants.
Yeah, most of those people are making at least minimum wage, but for the most part, it's probably more than that. Whereas when you're dealing with restaurants, in many cases, even the chefs or the cooks are making less than with the expectation that tips are going to make up the difference. And that's the problem there.
Right. And again,
yeah.
all of this started with COVID. We didn't create this.
Right.
The people that own businesses were like, man, we're really struggling. We were like, okay, we'll help you out. I don't mind giving you a tip because, hey, you don't have as many service people.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost employees. You're trying to keep your business afloat. I love this business. I want to do what I can do through these hard times. I had no problem with that. But we're back to normal
The hard
now.
times are over,
The
pal.
hard times are over
It's
now.
well,
pay your darn people
okay.
correctly so we don't have to do that. Wendy's, Burger King.
If you're going to a QSR,
Yeah.
a quick service restaurant model, which is exactly what you're talking about. We've been to barbecue places, right? You go up, you order at the window or at the counter, and then they either call you and you come up and pick it up, and it's like in a basket with
Yes.
paper,
Uh-huh.
and you bring it back to your table.
Mm-hmm.
Those people should be paying their people. I agree with you. Those are the people that's like, you have developed a model now where there's no reason for me to tip you.
Right.
Pay your people. If you're not paying your people, that's on you. But if it's, like I say, even a takeout order, I kind of feel like, oh, these guys, they're working back there, and somebody had to put the effort into this, and I want to reward them for that. I sleep better at night.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm
knowing
poorer,
people
but I
not
sleep
knowing that
better.
people aren't spitting in your food.
I hope they're not spitting in my
Or
food.
dropping it on the floor.
On the
and
other
picking
hand,
it
if
up.
they've heard this show, they might be
They'd
spitting
be like,
in my
oh,
food
I know what we're
anyway.
going to do to them the next time they come in.
Is that Dixon over there? Anybody else want at this? Walking around the kitchen with my food. Boom. 8:48 with Dixon and Vining. Stick around. Pete Townsend,
See,
Empty Glass.
no one gets bumper music like this. Steve West is the best.
True.
And that's why, we do so well in the morning. It's the bumper music. Everybody says it all the time.
Our
They're
producer.
not listening to the show for you and I, Richard. They're listening for Steve's bumper music.
I think we'll keep him.
Do you?
Unless somebody comes along
Thanks,
and
I
offers him more
appreciate
money, in which case he can go.
8:52.
8:52 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. The only other real hit off of that album was Rough Boys, which was great. Pete had a couple of other solo albums, but if you're a Pete Townsend fan, look at who came first. It's a Pete Townsend album called Who Came First. It's really, really good. It is kind of rare, unique. Well, it was back in the day. Now you can find almost anything. Yeah, I mean, I remember once sitting down when I was a kid and trying to figure out the chords to a song, and I'm like, I wish I had access to this song right now, but I don't, because I just had to figure it out and kind of figure it out in my brain. And nowadays you just go on YouTube and you're like, oh, there's 17 different versions of this song. I can learn it right here. Now let me go over here and look at the chords. We have made things just too easy on
Way too easy.
Soft on today's kids.
Yeah, very soft.
Making it easy for
and
them.
they think, life's difficult. I'm like, look, it's right there in your hand. Look it up.
You have no idea.
It's in that device you have.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, what about Look it up.
We used to have to drive down the road getting the lyrics to these songs wrong, singing them at the top of our lungs, by God.
Shoot, we used to have to copy what was in the encyclopedia
That's right.
to do our book reports.
That's right.
That's right.
Now you just
That's
go
all we
copy
could
what's on
use.
Google.
Now just tell AI what
That's
you need.
right.
It'll write it for you.
Uh-huh.
How ridiculous
400
is that?
words, please. Jamie texts us and says, Tzatziki's. I wonder if that's what you were talking about. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Steve says, hey, what about the roundup of drive-thrus? 404. Would you like to round this up? That's a scam.
If you're paying with cash and you don't want 6 cents,
Yeah.
I don't know, you're rounding it up more so for yourself than. But if you're paying with a credit card, why are we doing that?
Speaking of which, I finally got my act together. Every time I've been in my credit union, I've looked over at the machine, which is like the sleek
coin machine?
It's like the Coinstar, but it's actually, I don't think I have to pay for it because it's my credit union. And I keep going, I got to bring my change in. I got to bring my change in. So yesterday, I was like, ooh, I'm going to the bank tomorrow. I'm going to bring my change in. And I filled up an item, a container, with all of this change. And now here's my fear. I'm going to run across a panhandler on the way there. I can just tell.
Here, you just
It's gonna
take
be
this
like-
container, will you? Just take the container.
You got any spare
Take the
change?
whole thing. Just give him the whole thing.
No, this is all spoken for. There's no spare change here at all. I have no idea how much this is. People always tell me, they go, like, you're going to be surprised at how much it is. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Here's my
always
guess.
shocked.
I'm going to guess between $15 and $25.
Would you have
don't
about
know.
50 there?
I don't know.
Oh,
We'll find
you
out.
don't
I'm
know.
taking it today.
How heavy?
We're going to find out.
How many pounds?
It feels pretty heavy,
Yeah,
but what do I know?
about 15 pounds?
I don't know. I don't think it's 15 pounds.
10 pounds?
Maybe 10 pounds.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's always fun. Well, that's nice, too, because, most places, they keep a little of your money.
I'll have an answer
But if
for
your
you
bank
tomorrow.
does it for free, that's
I hope so.
nice.
John says, what % of gratuity goes to the chef and the waitstaff? I don't know. It's different in different places. I mean, sometimes some waitresses and waiters are made to split their tips, and some are not. Some are like, no, we pay the chef and the dishwashers a living wage here. It's only the waiters and waitresses that are getting the tips. Other places are like, no, you got to split tips. 40% of your tips go to these people, or 20% of your tips, or whatever, and they're divided up backstage. It's different in every place, so there's not really a given. But I do want to make sure that those people are taken care of in instances where waiters and waitresses are not around. Big White Mike says, want a tip? Plant your tomatoes early. Not
Thank
too
you.
early. It's going to get cold again.
Yeah, it is going to
Be
get cold
careful
again.
about that, man.
Chilly.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed everything's blooming, too. I'm like, oh, my hydrangeas, and I have a Japanese maple, and it's in bloom. And I was like, oh, no, you're coming out to blooming too early.
My Japanese maple is just languishing. I'm looking at it like last
Oh,
year.
I see new,
It came
new
back from the dead.
foliage.
Last year, I thought it was dead for sure, and then it just was like, nope, surprise. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm
please
concerned.
Don't be dead. Please.
Don't go below
don't
freezing,
be dead.
please.
Chris says, hey, did you use the term gully washer? Yes, I did.
Can we still do that?
You can use it all.
He did.
It's going to be a gully washer.
Mhm. Chaz says, yes, the whole state could have been Huntsville. Tommy Battle ran against Meemaw 8 years ago. She won solely on name recognition. I still have photos of my friends and I planting the first in Birmingham Battle for Alabama sign in my front yard. You see how well that worked. Sorry.
Oh,
Kyle
wow.
says a mobile home with the proper tie downs and a permanent foundation can withstand winds as high or higher than most conventionally built homes. And yet, bring a girl to it, you're still not going to get laid. I'm just saying. It's a mobile home.
Kyle,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you hear that?
Patrick says, Kay Ivey hasn't been sober enough to know what she's signing in decades. She's the Alabama version of Joe Biden. I disagree. Kay Ivey can actually give a speech. I've watched her do it here recently. And she can actually stand up and be coherent and give a speech. And when she finishes the speech, she doesn't just ramble around the stage. So is she older? Yeah. But, this is her final year in the governorship. And looking at all the stuff that has come in during her tenure in the 10 years
Pretty good.
that she's been here,
Done pretty good.
it's hard to argue with the
Yeah,
success.
whether you like her or not, she's.
Can we do better? Yeah, probably. Can we do worse? A whole lot, easily. Patty says Richard plus Storms equals depends sometimes.
Depends.
Tom says Corey Feldman's music performance of Go For It on the Today Show is one of the worst performances of all time. I actually watched that, and it was very bad. Blair says if you need fun microbiology facts, I got you. I think fun and microbiology are mutually exclusive. Blair?
I don't know. Give us a fact. Let's see if it's fun.
Pete says fun fact about the guillotine, or guillotine as the case may be. When someone's head is severed off, they're still conscious for 5 to 6 seconds. It's long enough to say, why did I choose that shirt to get murdered in this?
That would be
I don't
horrible.
know. Maybe it wasn't your choice.
That would be absolutely horrible. 5 or 6
Maybe
seconds.
they just said, here, we're marching you to the guillotine today. Put this on.
No.
And then you'd be like, I really hate that shirt.
Well, luckily you won't have to worry about it for much longer.
Erica says Corey Feldman's claims of sexual abuse throughout the industry bear investigation before. No. Those are mutually exclusive as well, Erica. Yes, I agree. I have seen him make credible accusations and is one of the few guys who says, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I was sexually abused by Michael Jackson, that, I feel like he was playing some mind games with me there. But that doesn't change the fact that his musical productions are just weird as hell. He has a strange outfit that he wears. He has these girls, like he's dressed as an angel, they're dressed as devils, and you got to see it to